One of the most thriving businesses in the inner city would be your neighborhood barbershop. And most have been around for more than a decade. It's one of the first places in the community where people can come together and discuss everything from sports to politics. It's a place where people can find out the latest news, ranging from the local government to what's going on with individual people in the community. In the city of Atlanta, one of the most important things to a young man would have to be looking good. And that all starts with a clean haircut. No shirt, pair of pants, or fly kicks can bring an outfit together like a crispy haircut. From a flawless razor hairline to a Beijing beard trim, the typical master barber is armed with the finest tools and an arsenal of techniques. To a master barber, there's nothing like the sound of clippers humming, blow dryers blowing, shears clipping, perhaps some oil sheen spraying. Of course, we got the clients conversing, and we got the football game playing on the shop TV. In addition to the smell of Clubman talc, aftershave lotion, clipper side, all of this embodies the atmosphere of the barbershop. Why did you become a barber? For many youth seeking a career path, barbering has provided a way out of a less than comfortable lifestyle, while for others, a much needed change of pace.
Furious Styles, we with Bart Hustle. Bart, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's happening?
Cool. We're gonna jump into it. So, what made you want to be a barber, man? How'd you get in this industry?
What made me want to be a barber? I got about 2 or 3 reasons what made me want to influence me on wanting to be a barber. First off, my daddy was a barber. My mama was a barber. So it was in my family, you know, just line of barbers. My daddy was a barber, so I come from a generation of barbers, so that influenced me. And then barbering is a player job to have.
I didn't choose the barber industry. The barber industry chose me. So basically, I was born into this. It was more like family business, so just keep on with the family business and, you know, just made it prosper.
Really, man, the artistic side of it was what kind of drew me to it. I've always been artistic and creative, so that kind of mesh kind of came naturally, and that's just, you know, how I got into it.
Okay.
Well, I started barbering at a very young age, around 12 or 13 years of age. I came up in a large family with 9 brothers, 2 sisters. And so my brother was cutting our hair at the time, and he kind of messed us up real bad. And I went to my mom and I was like, well, if he gonna mess us up this bad, I might as well cut my own hair. And so I went to school the next day, and when I came home, she had me a set of cheap wall clippers laying there. And so I started cutting my other brother's hair and some of my friends' hair, and I kind of picked up the skill and the love of barbering at that moment.
I found it fun to shave my daddy's head when he finally decided to get a bald head or whatever. I actually took that and went to barber school. And I learned how to cut hair. That was the first time I actually ever picked up a clipper, like a real clipper. But yeah, so I took that and I ran with it. And I actually turned out to be really good.
It started from childhood, you know, seeing barbers, the barber shop I went to prime time years ago, growing up, just admiring barbers putting out a lot of money, working at their own leisure, you know what I mean? Seeing like they, you know, just got the chance to kick it while they was making a good living.
Inspiration for being a barber. Inspiration to pick up a pair of clippers can be found in many places and from many people, while for others, it was by chance or circumstances.
Probably mostly other barbers when I was coming up, seeing them, what they were doing. I kind of took a liking to how they were cutting, their styles, definitely the money they were getting. So I guess that kind of inspired me to, you know, get into it.
It wasn't really not one particular barber. It was just, you know, barbering it in general. You know what I mean? A person can sit down in the chair and look one way and get out the chair and look a whole nother different way. You can see people, their attitudes change when they walking out the door. You know what I mean? I wanted to be a part of that.
My inspiration, I mean, what inspired me, man, is the fact that it ain't a job to me. Like I make folks look good. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm like an artist. I'm kind of bigger than the average rapper, the average entertainer. Cause one thing about, you know what I'm saying, the look, like, it's amazing.
Man, I've been cutting for a minute since high school. I was giving folks lineups, you know, before school. So from there, after I graduated high school, I went and got certified and been cutting ever since.
6 years now.
6 years.
Yeah.
Professional.
Professional.
Okay.
I was 13 years old when I first stood behind the barber's chair for the first time, so I've been cutting for about 27 years now.
Well, I've been cutting since I probably was in sixth, seventh grade.
Okay. So that's what,
Cutting.
13, 12, 13
But I've
years
been,
old?
yeah, but I've been cutting hair
Aha. Okay.
for 4 years. I've been cutting hair for 4 years.
Okay.
Fresh
Okay.
out of barber school.
Funny guy. Okay. How long have you been a barber?
I've been a barber since I was born, but actually the partake of barbering started when I was about 16. You know what I'm saying? I was in my dad's shop and I was sweeping, you know what I'm saying? That's the typical thing when you're a barber. You 9 times out of 10 you worked in the shop or as a shop boy or something like that. But I was sweeping and stuff like that, and dude had came in and said, "Johnny, can I get a haircut?" That was my dad's name, you know what I'm saying? And he said, "Can I get a haircut?" And it was busy at the time. He was busy. And the shop was busy. He was in a rush. And he seen me sweeping. He was like, "Shit, I ain't doing nothing but getting the ball head. Your son can do it." So as of that day, when it happened, I can't probably say I was probably like 15 to 16. That kind of put me in the mindset if I was a barber. I got my barber license when I was 22. I did apprenticeship up under a master barber at Cuts in Kroger City, right on Cascade.
Okay.
So I became a barber probably like about my senior year in high school. That's when I started professionally cutting hair in a shop every day. So that was 2002.
Pros and cons of barbering. In the world of barbering, nearly every day at the shop there's a moment when the barber realizes the perks and rewards of his profession, at the same time takes the good with the bad.
Probably one of the biggest pros is you get to kind of work for yourself and kind of plan out and do what you want to do. You know, it's kind of, you can cater barbering to what fits your lifestyle and what you want to do. So that's one of the biggest pros to me.
What's the good side of being a barber? What's the pro?
The good side of being a barber is you're able to achieve and accomplish goals that you wanted to accomplish fairly quickly. And I'm able to take care of my children how I want to, legitly, in a legit manner. You know what I mean?
I get a lot of kids that come in, and it's cool when they come back and they see, they be like, "Hey, that's that girl that cut my hair." It's really cool. Then like, you have people that come back and tell me like, "Somebody told me about you, I was out here, such and such somewhere. They said that girl in the West End cut my kids' hair, or they cut my hair," and they come back.
Good thing is you're on your own clock. You make cash money, you know what I'm saying? You got your own schedule. You get to help people out. You get to meet different types of people. Man, I can give you so many, man. But that's the top 3 or 4 or 5. Right
Okay.
there.
Now what about the cons? What about the negatives? You just
The
mentioned some good
negative,
things.
if you're
yeah.
good, you're never gonna have a lot of time to do a lot of things in life. You know what I'm
Time
saying?
consuming.
It's time consuming. It takes a lot. It takes you away from actual living, actual real life. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying, you know, the funs of life. If you really deep into it, I'm kind of deep into it. I'm caught up, really. Barbering it really saved me. It preserved me too.
What I would say is negative, or I won't even say negative. I think when it comes to barbering, you kind of have to find out what works for you. If you're the type of person, you got other things going on, or you're the type of person that you don't want to be tied down to the chair, then you know you want to find a clientele that's going to fit that. I think one of the cons to it is a lot of times people can't figure out where their clientele is or what they're trying to do with the barbering. So once you figure that out, I think, you know, it's pros from that point on.
The fact that I'm a girl, I'm a young girl, they don't feel like I can cut hair, they be scared because they don't think that I have the experience or I know what I'm doing.
I would have to say the biggest negative to being a barber would probably not being a barber. For years, I mean, we have been able to own our own business and we have been able to establish other businesses from it, you know what I mean? So barbering has been real good to me and others around me.
Gotcha.
Annoying clients. Some clients are annoying. I don't really have many of those, you know what I mean? But I do have a few of them. Mothers bringing little kids in, wanting babies in, let me say babies, well before they're able to get a grown man haircut. They want the same haircut they seen a little boy in their neighborhood that they got a crush on. They want them to have that same haircut, knowing good and goddamn well their child cannot sit still to get that haircut, and they want it to be crispy.
Gotcha.
Good and bad customers. Throughout the course of a day, a barber will encounter many clients. Some providing a good experience, while others you could do without.
You gotta deal with people, and that's not the negative. But when you have people that, you know, have their own attitudes and their own personalities, that can sometimes clash. So you gotta know how to adjust and, you know, how to kind of finesse each situation so that you don't have too much clash. Whatever you put out is what you get back, you know. So, you know, when I put out positive vibes and I get positive vibes back, you know, if somebody is negative or somebody is, you know, super picky or trying to give me a hard time, you know, those can kind of be negative things, but with my style of cutting, I really don't get too much of that negativity part.
Okay. The best customer for you as a barber, what kind of customer is that?
The best customer would be the customer that is real respectful of my time, because I'm gonna be respectful of their time. They're gonna sit in the chair with good client, you know, barber. For me to cut their hair, they had to have good etiquette. You see what I'm saying? They want a haircut that I can do. They're not coming to me with something crazy, and I will achieve, you know, pretty much what they want.
That makes sense. Worst customer?
Worst customer, a customer that don't understand I'm trying to cut their hair and they want to turn around and talk to me, and, you know, and you run into a lot of monkey stuff as a barber, but I don't really run into that as much. But I say maybe 10% of my clients are the bad clients. Yeah.
I love business-minded customers because, you know, it's about business. You know, we enjoy the moment. I enjoy the experience with them. We talk, we chop it up, and, you know, we both leave each other's presence with positive energy flowing. Those are some of the best types of customers.
What's your best customer?
The one that come back every week.
Okay. And what's your worst customer?
The one that's just looking for something to find wrong because they may not want to pay the full amount of the haircut that day or whatever is going on. They just trying to find a reason to take it out. Not today.
A client that can afford my service. I mean, I've been in the game for a long time and I have done a lot of charity work, and now at this point in the game, it's time for me to eat. So the clientele that I look for is the clientele that can afford my service. I'm not looking for someone who want discounts or, you know, someone who want to get the best for less. I want someone who want to walk in and know where they're at and want to pay for what they get.
What would you describe the worst type of customer for you to be?
Man, someone come in that wants everything and have no money.
Gotcha.
Best experience being a barber. Like all professions, being a master barber can provide you with many experiences that can be carried throughout life and be applied to many real-life situations.
Probably the atmosphere, the people you cutting around. When you have a good crew of people, that makes it way 10 times plus better.
One of the best experiences as being a barber for me is being able to take my craft and being able to take my work anywhere. I could go to a different city, to a different country, and I could still make a means to live. So I mean, for us being a barber, and I think that's just wonderful, being able to take your skill anywhere and being able to, you know what I'm saying, be able to create a life anywhere you go. Man, just learning the game. Some dealing with certain type of individuals, but being as a barber, you will learn how to deal with certain people. You know, you're gonna always deal with certain attitudes, dealing with people in general.
Tool of choice. A barber's most prized possession would be his tool of choice, used in combination with his personal style and technique. That's what separates him from the rest.
Well, as far as clippers goes, I learned on Andes, so I use Andes tools, Andes trimmers, liners, just whatever to, give you that crispy celebrity style type look. That's what I think my expertise is in.
Outliner tees, and my favorite clipper per se is like the Wall Senior.
I got the Wall Seniors, the Wall Super Tapers, the Andes Speed Masters, and the Andes T-Liners.
Well, my whole career I've used Andes. I use Andes Masters, Andes Liners. I mean, when it come down to it, Andes has been one of the top line clippers for me in this game. I have tried others, I've tried Walls. Andes has been the best for me, for the style that I cut.
The best type of client. Being in the service industry, there's always a preferred type of client.
My perfect customer is somebody that's gonna understand my schedule and what I've got going on, and I can understand what they've got going on. It's kind of got to work mutual. Somebody that's, that's just trying to call at the last minute, that's really not my type of clientele. I like people that, kind of know what they're doing. They kind of know what's going on for the week or, the next day, so that they can hit me up and we can line everything up perfect. And I'm never taken from what I have to do or what I've got going on, and vice versa for them.
Tips. In the process of providing a service, a client can show appreciation for a job well done in the form of a tip, which in turn is an incentive for the barber to perform at an even higher level.
Future said, $100 lineups, that really happens, People show love when they believe in your work and they believe in your craft and what you're putting out. They're gonna take care of you, make sure you're good. So, you can get looked after,
Okay, so
Yeah.
so it happens. Would you say that on average, tips are very consistent nowadays, or would you say that the game of tipping has changed over the years?
When it comes to that, I kind of set my prices to what I want to get from the customers and for my work. So as far as tipping goes, it's not something that right off the back I'm looking for you to tip. I'm really just looking for you to give me what I ask. But when people, when they see the work, they see the effort that I put into it, they can't help but to make sure that they, take care of me, throw me, something extra. So That's how it works out.
Well, I don't really base my day off of tips. My clients, they tip at will, so whatever they give, whether it be $1, whether it be $5 or $10, anything is good. But at the same time, I set my prices at what I feel that I'm worth. So if I get a tip, if I don't get a tip, I feel that I have gotten what I deserve.
How has barbering changed you? For many individuals, this industry has provided a large pool of opportunities, expanding from artistic creativity to networking with the city's most influential people, also providing a window of learning and obtaining additional life skills.
It's changed my life because it's put me in a place where I'm always around creativity and I'm always around like-minded people that are, thinking outside of the box. Most barbers, this is not all that they are into. Most barbers got other things going on, got, vast things going on. And where I work at, it's a lot of people like that. So we get to link, and also the connections and the networking that I do with, the people that come through here, celebrities, big time business people, moguls, all, you name it, they all come through here, especially with it being in the center of Atlanta. Definitely we get a lot of that.
How did you get where you are now? Like most of us, we all come from different places, backgrounds, and beliefs. This is no different for your Atlanta master barber. The experiences and obstacles throughout that journey that led to where you are now.
I probably be selling a lot of dope. Not just joking with you. I probably be acting. I always said in school I wanted to go to school for business management. So I probably be owning my own business. Being out like fashion and clothes and entertainment, it probably would have been on my own clothing line or just trying to get out there and act or do something in the entertainment business.
I definitely would be doing music because that's what my true passion is. I have a love for all arts, so barbering is definitely in that category. So I always have a love for barbering, but music is what I would be doing if I wasn't cutting hair on a daily basis.
I'd probably be selling a lot of dope. Not just joking with you. I'd probably be acting or I always said in school I wanted to go to school for business management. So I'd probably be owning my own business. Being out like fashion and clothes and entertainment, it probably would have been on my own clothing line or just trying to get out there and act or do something in the entertainment business.
You probably find me with a camera,
Okay.
working with some women.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe still dibbling, dabbling in the streets or whatever. You know what I mean? Trying to benefit, you know what I mean, from either one of those trades.
If D Woods wasn't a barber, wasn't a shop owner, what would he be? Where would we find you?
Right here in the West End at Barbershop 2. There's nothing else I could do.
Ain't no other play.
No other place.
Okay.
This is for me and my community. This is what I started. So my feet are planted right here in the West End. And I've been here most of my life. So basically all my life in the West End.
When you getting a haircut for me, it's not just a regular cut. I might, you know what I'm saying, I might give you a sharp line or mean fade or I got my own little logo for his designs and stuff like that. And you say style, but I call my little own little splash, or with my sauce, I call it sauce. So, you know what I'm saying? I got my own little sauce, my little recipe. It's like going to Wendy's and getting some chicken nuggets, and you could eat them chicken nuggets plain, but you know what'll make them chicken nuggets good? Some sauce.